Actually, on the last game when they focused on this gold lane. So for banning like carry, if I'm not wrong, or other Harriet in a gold lane here to avoid Upatizi to use this marksman. So he brought Irithel, which wasn't like, it was not bad, but it wasn't good for Entity7. So let's see what is going to happen in this next draft. Oh, Hilda as a first ban here for Entity7 on the blue side.
For me, looking at the Hilda ban, for me it means maybe one of two things. Either you're going for an assassin on your side that you don't want the Hilda to really be able to kind of bum rush you for, or possibly going for a Khalid on your side as well, which would be I'm not sure about the Khalid, just because I feel like if you pick something up, Khalid's not going to be a primary pickup on the side of E7. You're going to be looking at Alpha7 to possibly counter out with a pickup there. Zushin, I want to say finally we're at a point where teams understand. Don't even let her out. Like it's not worth it. It's basically a free win for the opposite team, and we haven't seen her at all here. She's been prioritized when it comes to a lot of these bannings.
Yes, for sure. She has been a priority, but it's Fanny. Everyone keeps banning Fanny, but every time we see her on the field, she has not been doing well because everyone understands that taking away her blue is kind of drops her off the map there, right? So I'm kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of wasted bans at this point, but I know a lot of these players do really well on the Fanny, but in this tournament I haven't seen it. But they're going to go ahead and ban out Claude as well here, I guess taking away from any options that they may have for the side of Alpha7 to pick up some marksmen. There is Bruno still available for them to choose, as well as Carry, most likely, yeah. But that's going out there as well. Not sure what else there is. It's kind of hard to analyze all these grays. Grayed out heroes here.
I was about to say that, like, just to blow my mind here, like with this 100 heroes in gray here, which is not supposed to use on this game. But now here once again, like Entity7 focusing on the gold lane for Upatizi, and Harriet once again here for Alpha7. So like it takes less options to Doom here to play, which he's not allowed to use like Moskov anymore, or Claude for example, or even Carry, because they used the two Moskmen on the first game. So Bruno, it's a solution, it's an option. For example, maybe Beatrix, maybe 1-1, who knows. Like we have to see what kind of like a Moskman is still left here on the gold lane for Entity7. So now we're waiting for the first choice here. Maybe even the jungler here is being very difficult. But oh, Grok here for Vagin, a very good one.
Yeah, so you're gonna have CC, you're gonna have some pop-ups, possibly maybe looking at a possible matchup with a Gwen, and some burst damage on the side of E7. You got a lot of CC that you can go, and then possibly like mix that up with damage like a Mystic Gush or something, to really be able to like burst down a hero. Also, Phoveus is open, where you don't need to prioritize it on the side of E7 because it's already been used by Alpha7, so they don't even need to worry about prioritizing this just yet on the side of Entity as well. Sora still an option as well. So it's very, ooh, yeah, a good read by Alpha7. The coach, I mean, he's earned my respect when it comes to these drafts and being able to counter some of these things out and read ahead.
Yes, on Alpha7, that's their own way of thinking, right? That's smart of them on this way to go ahead and pick up that Guinevere against the Grok, because they know they don't want to fight that. And they're going to go ahead and pick up this Yve here, but then that's kind of like a sitting duck for Harley to be able to kind of go in and take her out, right? So,
yeah, maybe focusing on Yusong, for example, here for the XP lane is one like, oh no, Sora. Okay. it's a good respawn here, especially when it comes to this ultimate from tanky ultimate form here from Sora. So, might be a good form to neutralize this teleportation coming out from Harley, for example, or the jump from Guinevere. As I was about to talk about like this a jump like this Guinevere here, like we saw Paquito playing Guinevere and he was very good, you know. Despite I think that it's a kind of a risky when you play with Guinevere here and trying to use this jump as well to get this control, for example, when you don't have anything left to with a very good initiation to help and to assist this jump. So let's see what it's going to take here. So Lapu Lapu is the third choice from Alpha7 for Hasu.
Yeah, I agree when it comes to, I feel like Guinevere at the beginning, especially the early engagements, Guinevere does a great job of being able to jump in, put on a lot of damage. As the game goes on, as it gets later and later, she becomes a lot weaker. She becomes almost, she becomes the opposite. She becomes a weakness for your team because you can go in, get the jump, get the Violet Requiem, but it's not going to be able to burst people down by itself. And that's just a huge target for the rest of the team to try to go in and be able to do damage. The only thing I do like is with the Violet Requiem, you're going to kind of be immune to CC, so Sora, Grok, it's going to kind of negate some of those things out. It's just, it'll be very interesting to see this. It's a great amount of CC. The side of Entity7 has a great amount of CC, and this composition kind of is melding around the real world manipulation. You can pop them up. You can use Sora to push them back in with the shifting skies to keep them in that range and continue raining down the damage. And Shin has been a great mage, basically probably the top mage here in the South right now. So you know he's going to be able to kind of rain down a lot of that damage. Now looking for the last and final pickups to come out of both of these teams.
Yes, for sure. Shin has been an amazing mage here as well. Both Shin and on DreamHack side, Shaikiche are really good mages in the South right now. So they're top tier for sure. And I feel like this composition, Grok and Sora, to protect Eve is a very smart play on their side. As long as you can keep everyone away from her, she can really do and rain down a whole bunch of damage for them on that side. They are not looking as tanky here on the side of Alpha7. You're right about the Guinevere. All she can do later on is be a support and kind of give them that short CC to kind of help boost them up, but she does fall off there. So this is going to be fun. They took out Kimmy here as well as Leo and Yisun Shin.
Yeah, so with like two marksmen focused by Entity7, I believe that Alpha7 is going to pick Bruno here, for example. Not allowed to use Moskov or Leslie anymore. So I think that Bruno is one of the choices left here for Alpha7. Lunox, okay, probably on the mid lane, but I would not be surprised if she would in the gold lane. Despite, even though I think that if she goes to the gold lane here, I think that it will lack physical damage in Alpha7's composition.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Claude's available, but I'm not sure if you want him against a Grok, who can pop him up and potentially knock him out of that blazing duet as well. Bruno, I feel like is the immediate option. I feel like Entity7 is kind of planning on. Moskov has been.
Oh,
I thought he was already used on the side of.
Yeah, but they banned him out. Yeah.
Okay.
There, go ahead and pick up that Bruno, like you said.
I feel like this is kind of a little call out to Alpha7. Is oh, you played a Paquito? Let me show you how it's done, brother.
Yes, for sure. So they're gonna go ahead and ban that out. Let's see what else they'll pick up here as their roamer, though. Who will be a great option here for them as a roam?
Yeah. I'm lost.
Is it going to be the Gwen as the roam, or is it going to be?
Yeah. I think that Guinevere is going to be the roaming here.
Well, I guess they're gonna go ahead and show us here in a few seconds here. I mean,
guess.
we've talked about it before. The Roam Gwen, it falls off. It does the same job as a normal Gwen. It just falls off a little bit faster there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Obsidia.
Okay.
Where do we stand on her?
I feel like they're very squishy here.
Okay.
It's all about Alpha7, right?
Yeah, so we used to see, and we used to talk about like compositions, early compositions, mid lane composition, mid compositions, mid game and late game. But for me, Alpha7's composition here is going to be a late game. You know, so they have to be very resilient and patient one here to get these power spikes for Obsidia, for Lunox, for example, or even Lapu here to get this resistance for this Alpha7 composition. I don't think that Entity7 is going to allow to these things happen here so far in this game, Private.
Yeah, it's going to be very tricky for Alpha7 here. I feel like I do like the potential of a jump coming in. As soon as you start that Violet Requiem, he becomes a target for the deadly magic. Then you have Lapu that can come in. So you have the potential to get that setting, that team fight setting initiation on there. It really depends on how well it's kind of played out there. And you're right, this does scale very late into the game, which we're not used to seeing Alpha do very well at, allowing the early game to an opponent. What they've been most comfortable in, especially when it comes to these matchups, is getting that early game, running that thing through the mid, and being able to settle it out there. Ooh, Flick actually tried to get that Lethal Wanderer, but it is picked up by Entity7. Now he's being chased. Two members there, a wall too. Flick able to use that teleport to get away.
Yeah, so Paquito was forced to use Flag here. Frost never was like taking so much pressure on the mid lane here. Entity7 like is starting on fire here this fourth game. It didn't like give us time to say hello to everybody. Welcome to the Land of Dawn once again here to Alpha7 versus Entity7 in this upper bracket final. But now let's go, my friend Private.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm very excited to see how some of these kind of play into each other. You see a lot of damage coming out there. Frost Lane Eve taking a brunt of it as Paquito going around, getting that information, clearing out a lot of these bushes for the rotations coming out.
Yeah, so, oops, here, on the river. Okay, Paquito doing the jump. Avoiding here any kind of situation. So, probably in a 2v2 here situation, as always, on the mid lane here for both teams. Meanwhile, we are seeing the sides and the junglers here, like, focusing on this clear path on the jungle to get and reach the level 4 as soon as they can. So, both the junglers are on level 4. First turtle immediately started by Alpha7. Let's go, Private!
Oh, yeah, a little pop-up comes out there. You see the bravest fighter form does a miss. It does connect the stun on the Shin, who goes, lays down the real-world manipulation. Hide on bush, able to find a kill onto Paquito. Now running for the hills. Flick looking for a disengagement, but does not find that. Frostlane Eve able to return the favor to Akashi. 2-1 right now in favor of Entity7.
Yeah, so 2 kills here for Entity7, but at least for Alpha7, the first kill here was for one of the carries, was for Frost Laneve with this Lunox. That could be one of the hopes here for Alpha7, but the first turtle went to Entity7.
First turtle to Entity7, and a great amount of big pop-up does land out there on to Bagin. Look at the damage going on to him, including the deadly magic. In comes Akashi looking for the kills onto Paquito, using that flicker to get away. So low, but Entity7 unfortunately not able to answer that as they tie up the kills.
Yeah.
And down goes Shin, pushing forward uncharacteristically without his roam there to check the bushes, left him as a waiting duck there for Alpha7 to go ahead, get that jump and the Violet Requiem.
You said it the right words, my friend Private. I didn't even know how to say this word, but it's not even common for Finn to stay on that position. Like, he was alone. He was like with no information from Alpha7's team, and he got lost. He was taken down, like completely lost in Alpha7's jungle. It's not a common thing to see here.
Yeah, Shin gonna go ahead and shake that off, and there Vagin gonna go ahead and check that top bush right now. Haas Claws picked up for the side of Doom there for the side of Entity7 now. 2 seconds left on this next turtle.
Oh,
now you can see them starting on it. Paquito puts a little bit damage out there as Frost Lane Eve continually going to go ahead and put the pressure on the mid lane, try to clear out that lane before we start off in this fight. Hasu on the backside going to get caught by Hide on Bush. On that Paquito, look at the damage that comes out of there. Akashi comes in, puts some damage on as well. Paquito finds some of their own as well. 4 members of Entity7 jockeying around for position on this turtle. It's just Paquito there. A big gank at the bottom though, as Hide on Bush finds the kill on the turtle, but were they able to answer at the bottom? Alpha7 not able to. Doom just gets away with just a nary amount of health, and down comes the real world manipulation, and Upa TZ down for the count.
Yeah, so things were even worse for Alpha7 here. They couldn't get the first turtle, the second one, sorry, and they couldn't respond on the goal lane. It happened the opposite here because Flick was almost taken down, and Shin took down here on the player of Alpha7. But who? Here it goes.
Oh, a big flicker into a stun, able to catch Hide on a Bush. And that's going to go ahead and take the jungler down for the side of Entity7. But in answer to that, Doom able to find himself a tower at the bottom.
Yeah, so Hunter Strike here now for Paquito on Hide on Bush. Genius 1 here for a Flick to like nerf this magic resistance coming out from Entity7's composition. Has Claws here for Bruno on the goal lane for a Doom. 3 kills here versus 4 for Alpha7. 2 totals for Entity7 so far. This 4th game here, it's being very tied up for both teams.
Yeah, it's been very close here. The closest that we've had through any of the games through this series. Okay, you can see on the backside, Paquito going to go ahead and find some damage on the Vagin. Finds him inside of that bush as well. And this is what I'm talking about. You see Vagin, very disciplined, checking out these bushes. Shin doesn't enter the fray until he knows that these things have been cleared there. He doesn't even get in range of the top bush because it hasn't been cleared out yet. So, and that's what I'm talking about. The discipline that Shin usually has, which was so uncharacteristic to see him get caught like that, and maybe just because of the timing that he and Vagin usually have, that when Vagin's kind of taken off the map, it can really set Entity7 back because Shin is usually expecting that clear. Here, Alpha7 going to go ahead and start on this next turtle. Vagin finds some damage on the Paquito, swipes him away. Out comes Raven's fighter form from Hasu. Akashi goes in for the damage. Flick still able to find the turtle. Down comes the real world manipulation. We do have a brilliant coming out from the side of Frost Lane Eve. Hide on Bush finds the kill on the Frost Lane Eve. Paquito in trouble as Hide on Bush comes in there with the damage of his own. Flick using that teleport, trying to get away from Hide on Bush. Ooh, he might be in trouble here on the backside of the tower for the side of Entity7. Hide on Bush chasing him down. Look how slippery the Harley is, and this is why he's become meta out of nowhere. Hide on Bush from the backside, chasing him. Deadly magic is out there. Hide on Bush able to find the kill.
Oh, but now here the sequence, Alpha7 was responsible to take down more players, but oh, now Entity7 with the 2 more kills. I was about to say, Private, that Flick bought so much time for Alpha7. He gave them the chance to take 1 kill on Doom, but still Entity7 like leading the advantage when it comes to these team fights here. When it comes especially for these big offs. 2 more kills for Entity7 plus the tower on the top and the bottom side here, or even the mid lane here. So no, I'm sorry, it's still standing, the first tower on the mid lane, but Entity7 here with the advantage, especially when it comes to the goal lead here, like almost 2k for Entity7.
We had talked about this a little bit before when it was, I think it was DreamMax facing Entity7 when it came to keeping up the macro. When it's an even game against a team like Entity7, Entity7 usually edges ahead because of how focused they are on the macro. Every kill, every decision is leading to try to take a tower down, to try to get a lord, to try to get a turtle here. And I feel like this is a big example of that. As you see, it's kind of a tie game, but you still have 2 towers on the side of Entity7 down, where Alpha7 only has the one that they've just gotten.
Yeah, but I have a feeling here that even though Entity7 has this advantage when it comes to goal lead and map domination, for example. Oh, at least in the map domination there is no more, because the 2 towers now for Alpha7, and now they're playing aggressive, especially on the jungle here when with Paquito and Upatizi. But I think that the clock is ticking against Entity7, because we're talking about Lunox, we're talking about Obsidia on the other side on the Alpha7's composition. Lunox is gonna melt down these tankies. Upatizi here with his Obsidia is gonna like be it's gonna have a very amount of this physical damage, you know, causing here. So for Entity7, maybe it's not a good idea to extend it this game so much. Let's go.
Yeah, you can see, oh, big tech charge lands on the 2. In comes Hesu with that bravest fight is formed. A big Violet Requiem lands on to hide on Bush. Is he still going to be able to get it? He picks up the Lord with ease. Doom finds a kill on the Paquito. Hesu returns the favor to 2 members of Entity7. 3 down now as Alpha7 looking to chase them down. 4 members up for Alpha7. They're going to go ahead, try to push this down mid.
Yeah, so they took down the tower number 1 here in the mid lane. It could be worse for Entity7. For their luck, the 2 players remaining, the 2 left players was Doom with the Bruno and Chin with this Ivy. So the clean wave could be very interesting, like this damage. So that's why like Alpha7 didn't continue this pressure. They're like head now for the Lord. They melted down this objective, and I think that for Entity7 it was worse this kind of situation here, like getting the Lord, okay, but losing 3 players and getting Alpha7 more confidence.
Yeah, definitely that the favor for that last fight went over to Alpha7 as Entities, as they made short work of that Lord too as well. So they didn't even get any pressure on to these towers just yet. And with that too, you have a mid tower down for the side of Entity7. Oh, Paquito actually in a good position on the backside, looking for an opportunity. But man, I want to say Entity7 so good about like understanding where they can go, where they can't go, and where hasn't been checked for them, where isn't safe either. So a great job and a great read there from Entity7 not to kind of get baited into some of those bushes that were being guarded by Alpha7.
I thought that Vagin wasn't about to check this bush that Paquito was on it, but now he's back. But Alpha7 like leading in 3 players to take down the tower on the top side here, the number 2. Oops. Okay, here comes the response for Entity7. Oh, it did defending the tower. It didn't take down here so far.
Yeah, but that tower's about to sneeze away from falling down. It's gonna take an auto attack from somebody just to go underneath there to take that down, and that actually might find a little bit of a false sense of relief for some people to use that as defense. You see that Doom has picked up the Malefic gun, the glaive picked up by Shen. Malefic gun means that Doom's gonna have a whole lot of range to be able to kind of really start spiking down on people while maintaining that distance he needs to keep that Bruno safe.
Yeah, and I believe that more important than that, it's like Vagin finding the perfect time here to use the tectonic charge, especially when it comes to the follow-up for with the rest of the teams. Because, okay, we're seeing the items once again, Winds of Nature for Obsidia here, like 4 items for Upatizi. It's getting really, really interesting and strong for Alpha7's gold lane. But as I was saying, Vagin on the last team fight, on the Lord team fight, like Vagin used the ultimate, the tectonic charge, but the rest of the teams, the rest of the team was not on the same page, because as we could see, the execution was not so well for Entity7. So that's why, like, one of the reasons that Alpha7 could get better position on that team fight. They lost the Lord, but they took the 3 players in the process. So Vagin here, like, is one of the key for Entity7 to get this execution at a perfect time here to get Entity7 this advantage.
Yeah, right now sitting at 9 to 10. They're going to go ahead and start on this Lord here. Hesu on the backside looking for an opportunity and an angle to get in here. Paquito and the rest of Alpha7 looking for a big way in. Out comes the Violet Requiem and the Deadly Magic. Akashi in trouble, gets bursted down by Flick. The rest of Alpha7 now chasing down Entity7. Hide on Bush in trouble, getting blasted down by Upatizi. 4 members down for Entity7. Doom next on the list, might be taken down. That's going to be a complete team wipe for Alpha7. Entity7 might not be able to save this game. They're pushing through mid right now.
Yeah, team wipe here for Alpha7. Here come from the victory, Private.
Yeah, and that is going to bring an even series for Alpha7.
Alpha7 now getting everything tied up 2-2, and we are heading for the last game here, Zena.
What a match. Oh my gosh, this time around they kept everything even throughout the game, and they were actually putting all that pressure on, but it seems like Alpha7 has figured it out for them to kind of get that late and come back, right? So this one could be anyone's game coming up next. This is pretty exciting to watch right now.
Yeah, I was almost going to say this is exactly what Entity7 did to them in the first game, but not so much, because I feel like this was a little bit more even for both of the teams, both of them just looking for an opportunity to basically be able to return the favor. But I mean, here, Alpha7 really kind of putting on their big boy pants when it comes to Entity7, being able to keep this at an even game where I really have the favoring towards Entity7, who usually does such a great job. A few little mistakes starting to come out from Entity7 that I'm starting to see, and Alpha7 doing a great job of taking advantage of those.
Yeah, a good job here coming out from Alpha7, especially on this 4th game. 15 kills here, especially when it comes to Hesu. Once again, Hesu with 6 kills with this Lapu Lapu. Upatizi with Obsidia, as we were talking, like with this late game situation. Frost Laneve once again here playing with Lunox. So they felt this confidence to bring this late game composition versus Entity7. Because we know that Entity7, despite their discipline, despite their powerful, they like to control the game. They like to get everything in their hands. It doesn't matter if it's gonna take long. It doesn't matter if it's gonna take like more like than I don't know, maybe 12 minutes or 15 minutes. So that's why like Alpha7 decided to bring that composition here, especially to buy this time with Hesu and Flick using this Harley, as we saw like he trying to escape Entity7's chase down. It was like they were buying more time for their composition, and it worked so well when we saw like Frost Lanevin and especially Upatizi with the triple kill on the last team fight here for Alpha7 to not get only the lore but this advantage, this confidence here in this game number 4 to bring and a lead to the final game.
Yeah, I feel like Alpha7 did a good job getting the jump on Entity7, reacting faster to get their initiating factor first here. Especially here, Akashi gets caught. He doesn't even initiate, gets caught with a Violet Requiem, and that's what sets it off for the team. The Deadly Magic there. Now you've lost a huge CC, a huge tanking ability. Upatizi starts going online and shreds them one at a time. And that is what spelled a doom for Entity7 here, as Alpha7 was able to use that whole team wipe to push through to the core.
Yeah, and one curious thing here, as the people on the chat were talking about, Alpha7 they dominated most of these games. We used to see Patrick, right, with the glue skin lay down on the floor, but now it's Paquito taking a little nap on the lead of down here.
And
I was kind of gonna say that.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, here we go. We have Hesu again here on that MVP, a constant for their team, making sure that they get that win right here with 614 KDA, 41.9k total damage, and 575 golds per minute. Hesu has been that rock for that team.
Yeah, his engagements coming in here, especially with being able to scope out where the mage is, where the mid lane is, get to that back line, and really put on the damage. He's been a great asset for the team. He's been, and probably one of the I want to say one of the core winners for the side of that team as well. You could see here that there's that pop up there, and then he goes way deep onto the backside, immediately latches on to try to get onto Shin. Bravest fighter form. Shin even tries to use the flicker, gets stunned, and Hesu comes in to finish the job.
Yeah, so we're seeing here Hesu leading, especially on this back line, is zoning these players, but not only zoning, you know, like he was like getting deep on these initiations coming out from Alpha7, not only to cause this damage, but also to force Entity7's players to use the skills, to use the